Hey everybody, welcome back to the range. I'm Tom, and I'm your range instructor for today. Today, we're going to be doing a Gaslands Lethal Diesel. So let's go.
You want to get out of here? You talk to me.
Today, this is a really good casting. I like this style. It looks like a Humvee. You know, I'm going with dualies in the back, you know, pretty much an 18-wheel style wheels on it. You know, I was going to try to do 6-wheeled vehicle, but I ended up losing one of the actual tires. So I just made it just standard 4 wheels. Technically 6, you know, with the dualies in the back. But, you know, normal stuff, drilling out the post, getting it all ready to go, pulling it apart. Really don't like the windshield, you know, with the engine on it. Don't like it. So I'm going to be making a custom interior for it. You know, get it ready to go, punching the holes so I can get the self-tapping screws going. You know, I like this casting so much, I actually went out and got a second casting. Yeah, because I'm probably going to end up doing something with that later on down the road. But I'm going to put it in gun oil and let it sit for a while. Pop these wheels out, because it's definitely getting the wheel change, like I said earlier. You know, fast forward a little bit, got her out of the gun oil, and now I'm sanding her down and with the steel wool. I'm getting the wheels ready. I got to make axle tubes for them. You know, just trying to go through my parts here, and I got a lot of guns, I got a lot of armor parts, I got, you know, bulk of stuff for Gaslands builds. You know, I started working on the exhaust, putting like 4 little round styrene tubes on the side, just kind of making sure it's going to fit. You know, I'm going to have the exhaust coming out the back. I'm working on a little drive shaft here. You know, just for looks. It's not really anything special. I just kind of wanted to give it that look. You know, it was really easy to do. You know, I just took some milliputty, wrapped it around a tube of styrene, and just sanded it down once it got dry and glued it onto the base. You know, this was a really fun project, and the one thing I always remember when I see somebody else doing a Gasland builds, they always tell you there's no wrong or right way to do Gaslands. Just have fun with it. And that's what I did. I've actually gave this thing a nickname. Instead of the Lethal Diesel, it's going to be the Lethal Enforcer. And you'll see why later on in the video. You know, just doing my measurements, doing, you know, mocking up, trying to get everything to where it'll fit just right. I had to readjust the exhaust a little bit because they didn't fit with the body on it. Here's where I'm making the exhaust, you know, curve up and over the back tires. It was easy to do. I didn't have to really worry about, you know, breaking the styrene because it was pretty thick styrene. So it was just tough to bend. That was the hard part, was just bending it to the way I wanted and duplicating it for the other side. So, you know, you see that, you know, I got this in 7 times speed. So, yeah, this video was actually like almost 4.5 hours long before editing. So yeah, I had to kind of cut out a lot of my build stuff. Like, you didn't see me put the exhaust tips on or the pipes on before the other part. Some of the interior that I made, you won't be seeing how I made that, but you can get an idea by looking. And here's where I'm starting to work on the interior. You know, I'm cutting the base on. I got racing seats from Grizz over at Bearcat 3D Designs. Got those a few weeks ago. Been trying to have something to use for them, you know, and my build's coming up. There's a couple builds that I can use them for.
Think! Think! Owie! Owie!
Alright, well, we're back. As you see here, I put a brush guard or a bull guard or whatever you want to call it. It's got weapons on the front. Put them on, off camera, trying to get them all smoothed out and, level, just trying to make it look decent. Here's kind of where I'm cutting armor, and I got multiple pieces of armor. Like, I got a whole box full of it. And I pretty much armored this out. I put weapons like almost, let's see, there's 2 in the front, 1 in the back, and 1 on top. So, yeah, and the rest of it's just armor. But, it was really fun. It turned out so mean. Like, it was mean looking just to see it. And, I had my doubts about the first engine I was going to do, and I'm kind of glad I didn't pick that engine, because the one I ended up using I modified a little bit, and it looks really good on it. But, I got it fast forward for most of the armor, because it was a lot of armor, and then I had to, cut some of it, trim it, and put them a certain way, and I just made it to where it was functional, technically, I guess, but it was also, you could see it at a Gaslands game or whatever. But you see there in the background, that's all the armor pieces I have. Some of them's got bullet holes, some of them's got like a tin, like an awning piece. Here's one with the bullet holes I'm putting on the back because it's got little fuel cans on the back. So I was like, well, do like a death race thing. Cover up the fuel, put like a tombstone style on it. But it really wasn't a tombstone. But here I am standing down some of the armor pieces because I cut little pieces of styrene and just pegged them on. Just barely tapped them on. The back vents, I decided to cut in half. I glued one in, and the other one I kind of opened up, made it look like it was like a back hatch for a rear gunner. And it worked, and I was very impressed by it. It was beautiful to look at when it was done. And this casting, it just has that Gaslands Mad Max look, even before all the armor and weapons and stuff that was put on it. And like I said earlier, I got another casting just because I wanted to try something out. Here I am with the custom interior I made. Put a dashboard in it, I got racing seats in it, roll bar in it. Here I'm test fitting it, making sure everything fits right. Here's a front windshield piece that I'm making that I'm gonna put like little bars across. I gotta cut it because the engine way it sets, I didn't want it to like obstruct any of that. But here I am cutting little pegs, and I cut quite a few little pegs just for the armor pieces. But it wasn't a challenge, because technically if I wouldn't have stopped, I probably could have got it done in a day. But I needed a break, and had to get some sleep. But like I said, this is a pretty fun build. I love doing Gasland builds, and I just kind of wish I had more videos of my other Gasland build, like my 8 crate. That 8 crate turned out so good, and I've been getting video footage sent to me from Kristen over in New Zealand, and his 8 crate is looking phenomenal. And here it is after I've already primed it. I did the paint chipping technique with the salt and water. This is after where I'm brushing off all the salt and I'm weathering it down. I even took a little bit of tan paint and kind of just lightly coated over some of it. You know, here I am with the interior. You know, I kind of did the same thing with the interior and the base, you know, just the chip paint technique. It was pretty simple to do once you get the hang of it. Like the first time I did it, it turned out good though. But, you know, I wasn't really used to doing that yet. You know, I used all kinds of different weathering. You know, here I am putting a red paint on there and make it look like blood. You know, I got little skulls that I'm putting on the wheels. You know, I'm going to weather them up here in a minute. You know, I'm just putting them on like as a little center cap for the wheels. And, you know, it just looked pretty cool on there, I thought. And, you know, it didn't take long. You know, I have these skulls from Citadel, skulls off of Amazon. And I still got a bunch of them I haven't even used yet. And here I am doing the base, brushing all the salt and stuff off. You know, making it look, you know, kind of just flaky, you know. And then I'm going to weather the bottom with a little bit of orange rust, a little bit of soot, a little bit of the brown rust. I'm going to go over the guns with the gunmetal color and the silver. And, you know, it just, you know, just trying to make sure you put rust in the right spots just to make it look that way. You got to kind of keep an eye on that. Because, you know, you think about it, where is most places on a vehicle that rust? You know, and that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, okay, you know, if it's got armor, it's going to be rusting underneath the armor. And, you know, probably rusting underneath the wheel wells or quarter panels somewhere on the hood, you know, maybe the front grille. So, you know, and that's kind of what I'm doing. You know, I'm putting the little soot weathering on the skulls, make it look like they were burnt or something like that. A little bit of dirt, mud on them, a little bit of sand. You know, just trying to weather them up like they've been rolling in the sands in the desert for quite some time. You know, we're getting really close to, you know, finishing up. You know, here I am painting red on the base, you know, just on the brush guard of it. And it looked like it needed it. I don't know why, but it looked like it needed just a little bit of splatter blood. So, but, you know, here I am putting it somewhat together. You know, I kind of caught the last bit of footage, putting the screw in, gonna tighten her up, and then we're gonna get to looking at the final results. But you guys remember what we started out with. Here is the Lethal Enforcer.